figure out how to get that Spotify synchronizer to work. Not today, though. Okay, granny time. Okay, so I did some work. I've been working on it every once in a while here. Probably got about 6 more hours into it now, compared to what I had at the end of Friday. So got the skull kind of blocked in. Got the rib cage and lower legs kind of roughly where I want them. I kind of need to work a little bit more on this, but that's fine. And then the arms. Started working on them prior to what they are right now, and then realized I didn't have the scapula nor the clavicle in place properly. So that is what we're going to be doing today, is messing with that stuff. Just need volume on music down a little bit. I'm going to make sure that's not coming through. I don't think it is. I have my usually have my user desktop muted, so, and it still is, it looks like. So, there's a bunch of stuff. I needed some reference up. I was thinking I should almost make a reference window, but I don't know where I would put it. Especially most of these programs, they're kind of there's a lot of real estate that gets taken up by everything. So okay, that works. So I'll go to Anatomy 360 really quick and see if they've got a skeletal. Looks like pretty sure I had an account with these guys. Nope. I have not. Okay. Guess I'll do that a different day. Just need to get a good shot of a scapula so I can actually see what the... You can pull it. Oh, I did wrong here. Well, I'm not completely wrong, I guess. Okay, so... So this... Trying to imagine here. This is right, but it needs to be down here. That's not what I wanted. It's about 1, 2, 4-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4 ribs down, so that's about roughly where it should be, but this needs to come up like that. There we go. Now once I get in once I get into class tomorrow, I can actually look at the skeleton and we've got it. Just make sure I'm doing that part correctly. That needs to be way thinner though. It was crazy learning one of the interesting things about the skeleton, like how heavy bones are. You think about it, your jaw, so your mandible, which is the lower half of your jaw, is super freaking thin. Like, you do have like hard, like thicker ridges on it. For the most part, it is quite thin. Kind of looking at this here. I'll just solo this out really quick. Might be a little bit thicker, but that's roughly about how thin your jaw is, where it connects. Which is mainly because, you know, otherwise you have all this weight hanging down. And obviously this is way bigger. Your jaw is more like that. Well, not as wide either. It's pinched in quite a bit. You don't have two big weird fang thingies. But yeah. Checking something real quick. Okay. So Granny's looking pretty good so far. One thing I should do is probably open her just so I have it the way I want it. Which is good. Okay. Back up the yarns here. Oops. Switch my brush back to the lay build up. Okay. I'm almost thinking what I should do, because the majority of this is going to be if the majority of this is going to be kind of skeletal, I'm almost thinking if I do the actual skeletal components as separate objects, and then go over it with, what is it? Not that. There's a, there was, I think it's this one, curve snap surface. Or maybe just curve standard? Oh, no. Sure it's one of these. You can draw out like a swath of clay or something. I thought that was a thing. I might be wrong though. Curve flat maybe? Not really. There is a brush specifically for making muscles, and I can't remember who made it, but I could use that as well. I think I need to purchase it. I don't think I bought that one yet, though. Also, the way I've got this is a little wonky, what I should have is this mask also. So the way it currently is, this is the top of the deltoid, which means this should actually be coming backwards. This. And more like this. A little bit more up and in. And the deltoid should probably be coming more down. I think I'll fix it like that. So if that's a little more realistic. Quote, realistic. And then what I can do is I can bend the arm here down, but it's at a nice angle where I can that I can rig. That's good stuff. Move tools quicker. And just shape a bit. Oh. That stuff off really quick. That doesn't need masked. That way I don't mess up the bones. So this one, like I was saying on Friday there, this is going to be grandma for my not rewrite, but kind of Little Red Riding Hood inspired horror visual novel. Got the majority of it written, but from what I did write, I'm having second thoughts on it. So, probably gonna rewrite a good chunk of it. But the program itself is already there. And I'm just using RenPy for now. But I will be moving over after this project into Unity. Originally I was going to use Unreal, but then I realized as a solo dev who is not a programmer, learning C++ is a nightmare for me. And I know a little bit of C# already from previous attempts at making games circa 8 years ago-ish. Oh, maybe not that long. Let's go 4 or 6 years ago. So... this is the clavicle here. Deltoid attaches there. Then attach to humerus. And then at the back here, it should attach up here. I do want this to continue showing. Should look more like that. Something like that. And then I'm going to eventually wrap some muscles into the ribs. And I'm not gonna go. I don't think I'm gonna go too much different. I guess we'll see. I'll ask during feedback time just to see if I should bother really sculpting the ribs in its entirety. Just because at the moment it's not really a priority to have those super detailed out. Okay. Triceps. Probably don't need to be that ripped. Good. There. Something like that. And he does not need to bench press 8,000 pounds. And she can do that with just her weird eldritch powers alone. I don't think she needs. Out for a minute so I can actually see what I'm doing. And just probably make sure I have back face masking on before I ruin something inevitably. Okay. I don't gotta worry too much, I don't think, about the clavicle, just because, or the end of the clavicle rather. The actual clavicle I'll deal with, but as it stands, this should be good. Forearms are my bane. I need to single this out and grab some. A little bit up on there. Because there's this muscle here that comes in. Oh yeah, what are we at here? There we go. Okay. Bunch of extensors. Excuse me. For me, it's like the biggest part that I always get wrong. the arm, or yeah, sorry, the forearm muscle that connects kind of the elbow point and like the humerus down to the radius, I think it is, right? Yeah, thumb, yeah. So it's this guy here. I need to reduce this. Mine's fine. So this thing here, and then it wraps. It almost immediately wraps in. Gotta find those super like dehydrated dudes who bulk themselves up. Oh, that looks like someone's arm exploded. Oh. Maybe I won't have a reference image. Get me. Do a little bit of not safe for work imagery. Not in like any sort of weird way, but like seeing someone's arm muscles like literally torn underneath their skin ain't pretty. There's that, and then the other muscles. Wrap around with. Let's see. This is always like a weird thing for me. Let me just put this for a second here. Okay. So the tricep is. Let's get rid of majority. Let's get that stuff. And get rid of this for now. Right. So this muscle comes out of the triceps brachii, which is this part of the tricep. So it comes out this way. I think I've got it too wide. Like that. And it's two muscles. There's one. They're kind of right beside each other, like RP radial. Okay, so this kind of has a split. It comes down this way. Get rid of this for a second here. That part of it, this part here. I'm looking at this wrong. Arm muscles are friggin' ridiculous. Just because there's so many of them, they're all wrapped on top of each other. Okay. More of the stuff that's underneath for now. There. Comes down to the thumb. Oh. stare at a reference. I'm going to move a little bit. It's a low. Didn't change a ton, but could help a little bit. Okay. That part. That's really humorous there. As protruding bone-like as I can get it. Also what comes in underneath that. And this has what do you call it? Not really good, it's the other stuff that wraps over that way. That should be fine there. Okay. A little bit. I was looking at the wrong side, wasn't I? Here. Yep, I was. Okay. I need to find. And that right. There's a muscle that hides in. Comes in and underneath of that. Then a bunch of other muscles that come down this way. Must be here. Bone should, remember correctly, just like feeling my own arm, should come right here. Oh. That little ridge there. Obviously it's not going to be like that protruded, I just want to have that there. Just for placeholder at the moment. And slowly starting to look like an arm. I'm gonna get these a little bit more. Detail, just because. Granny's gonna be a little, word for it, hot skin. A little leathery, we'll say. Like too much butter stretched over a little piece of bread, I think is the term Bilbo used. I'm gonna do the fingers as well here. I think I need to get my Nostromo set up again. I had one of those Razor Nostromos that has like the nice like hand position, and then just basically it's just like the left half of a keyboard. Just gotta get that set up so I can actually put my wrist at a decent position. The desk I'm sitting at is not great. Alright. Radius set again. Which this end is bigger end. Elements here. Can't remember what they're called. Should see if I have my anatomy notes kicking around. It'd be super handy right now, because then I can actually just do my whole friggin' memory thing that I usually do when I've written something. I don't think I brought them though. Kind of a bad move on my part. See. Oh well. The internet is here. Hopefully that's accurate enough. Biceps looking a little funky. Split down it. Shots here, let's see. If I remember correctly, and this is just memory, which is not Probably the best that they will offer for this, but deltoid. I think I can get some reference. Has like three spots to it, kind of. Three muscle sections. Four. Okay, so oh, I did this wrong. Okay, let's just correct this really quick. This. This. Itty bit. And this. Oops. This. I'm just gonna try to clavicle up here real quick. Which really the reason it's curved like this is so that when you move your head you don't choke yourself. Obviously this is where your throat would be. But since this doesn't really have a throat, technically I think I'm just gonna check some. Technically, I think I almost want this up like that. What would happen? This. And I think leave that as is, and that can stay there. If anything, I can always just bump this up and shift it around when need be. Oy. Okay, just back to the deltoid. After I realized I messed it up. Okay, we're going to grab in here. So that's kind of one section. That's going to double on humerus. And this section comes with actually. Back like that, and then this. Like that. And then this piece here. All the way from that kind of turning point of the scapulus. All to there. nearly indented, otherwise it looks like a basketball that's been deflated and stretched out. Let's do a little bit of steam up. I hope mine just pick that up when those are ripping on their motorbike or whatever. Yeah, I think the arms are decent for now. Oops. Go back to them later. I'll work on these things. The mittens. I wonder actually, before I do that. I think I am gonna bend this. So I can get a little bit of a better with the hands. Yeah, that's pretty decent. I'll fix this collapse. A little bit here. Then what I'll do later is I'll swing that back up. Hey, now the fitness can go. Just so I can actually see it. You know what, I'm gonna do something here first. That. Just for now, I'm gonna delete that side, and then I'll bounce this back over after I've completed this. I just don't want having a secondary hand as I rotate this in my way. Now, this stuff. bit more. Wrist. Let's start with the bones here. Just get the kind of upper shape of them. And then we'll start doing stuff here. Fingers and whatnot. Okay. So let's go. I need an actual skeleton. It's just a reference. Don't want someone else's rendition or a plastic Halloween toy. Roughly. Now we've got this. Big bone from the wrist. Sure. You know what? Just do this. Down. There we go. That should be a little bit closer. Again. Those cuneiforms, I think. That's the cuneiforms of the writing thing. Oh no, that's right. Those are in the foot. Each of them has a different name. I think it was it's like a catch-all name for all the bones in the hand. The little tiny ones. Not that I see. Ooh. good now. So you're 4 on the bottom, 2 on the top, 4 on the bottom, 2 on the top. Okay. That goes there, which means my thumb is in the wrong place. Is it? Going that way? Oh no, yeah, sure, it's fine there. I just remember all these little bones being the biggest pain in the ass to draw. And obviously, like with your skin, you're never gonna see these. If you do, go to the doctor. But generally you have enough like tendons and muscle across there that you're not gonna generally. This is going to be a little wonky, but it'll work. This goes. Okay, now metacarpals. Carpals. Ugh. Or wait, carpals. Is that right? Tarsi. Yeah. I really need to find my notes. Either way. We're gonna kind of get rid of all this muscle in here. We'll put it back later, I think. Oops. And change this so it's not absolutely destroying everything. This is true now. It's not. I gotta cut that chunk off, so probably auto shut that mesh off. Okay. Metacarpals all have kind of this like curve underneath of them, which actually causes, I think, that curve in the palm of your hand there. And then your thumb just has a big chunk of muscle across it. And this looks really long for a thumb. But I do have the fingers not kind of place held right now. Like the things are actually coming out. Snake hook this. They'll come out about that long. This out. Let's just make sure I got this flat sheet. The flat, and the flat that. Bump that out for now. There we go. That's decent, I think. It'll work. Then I want to add some, like, I don't know, ripped up flesh coming off of it or something. Or at least decaying, some sort of, like, nastiness. Because why not? Next one, just gonna shape that. Put it a little more this way. That. Next on the side. There. Just a little bit closer. So this will be the fun part, deciding whether I want to gouge all this out or just leave it. And personally, I think I want to gouge it out, which just means me using the move tool in there a bunch and hoping that my Dynamis resolution doesn't fill back in. Well, if that's the case, I just have to cut the hand off and bump it back a little bit more, I think. I think I'll actually do that. I'm just going to rip this off. Sure, that's the only thing. Split hidden. Dynamesh. And then now we can really bump this thing up. Right now it's only like 5,000 geo. And I want more than that. Much better. 30,000. Should be able to pull it now. Just gonna dig it all the way down. Then exponentially, I can grow that. That way I can just grab the little chunks of it and go. And like I've been trying to get the slicing work. Taking chunks out like this. And then delete it in. Oh, it worked this time. Okay, cool. Every other time it was just connecting right back up where I cut it. So, yay, it works. While doing this part, let's do get the shape forming a little quicker. Yeah, what are you doing? No, I don't. Let's accidentally hit D. Obviously, your bones don't hook down like that. So much. Inflate this. Okay. Oh, metacarpals. That. Holy, that's real. Flatten this out a little bit more. That's where I need to move these two. And that'll be good for that. Then come back in here and shift these back down. A little bit smaller on the pinky. That thing's only like half the length of your index metacarpal, so see that length. Yeah, it's about right. It's a little long. That's fine. All things considered, monsters' fingers are long in. Whoops. In totality, let me just make sure this is actually looking decent. Yeah, because then the fingers should come down about here. Yeah, that should do. Okay. Knuckles. Don't quite have the shape on those. But for placeholder, let's see here. For placeholder, these will work. Then I can start building off of those. When I build off of them, I need to make sure that I try to keep these as straight as possible, just to make rigging easier. You have curved fingers and you gotta do all your rotations, and that is a pain in the butt. So, just make sure these pop off of here and somewhat directly. Just gonna polish them with eye polish. And then we'll just insert cylinders. We can do capsules. Oh no, capsule will pop in, yeah. Pops in. Not want. and then extend them. Okay. Now, this is where I need solo mode. So it needs to be, for doing that, just right. And we can just hold control. Okay, this needs to be. This one needs to be just a little bit longer. Okay, again, while holding control. I still haven't found a good program that isn't out of date for for showing my keystrokes on screen. That while I'm working using ZBrush, figure that out at some point. But for now, this will be fine. Yeah, I think what I'll do now, make this easier on myself. Back to the select rec. Just, oh, wait. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I duplicated them. So we're just going to go like this. Put the hidden, and then that way I can just work with these separately without mucking up that stuff there. Okay. Doing here. So when I go over this with, or not go over it, but when I change this after I do a retopo, the fingers are going to be very geometrical. Mainly because you're not going to see them super ton. And they'll most likely be hexagons. Because if you look at your finger, although pentagons are fine too, if you look at it straight down, well, no, fingertip is a pentagon. The finger in its totality, each joint is more like a hex with the flat top and bottom. Down the sides go into a triangle shape at a point along the edge, so kind of break it down into planar shapes anyways. It's a little easier way to remember how to draw them too. Just nice, because I suck at drawing hand. I need a lot more practice on that. Especially for just quick sketching. Yeah. What I should do is just like delete the rest of these and just take that and stretch it, because I think. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do it just to make this less of it. Save some time. it's actually proper way. Make sure that's longer. A little bit. Shrink this one. Technically it should be a little bit shorter, I think, if I'm correct. Yeah, than the index. Ring finger's just shorter on some of the segments. Although it depends on the person. Some people's ring finger is about the same or sometimes longer than their index. This is okay, so that's the first index, or first what is it called? Proximal something or other. Now we're just going to take this and keep doing this because they're all roughly about the same shape. I'll go in and manually mess with them a little later. I'll auto group them just as separate components, and then that way I can just mess with them as I need. And this one needs to be bigger, small that. A little bit longer. Make sure I've got that. These ones are so let's go like that. Squeeze them in just a little bit now. This one a little bit longer. But then I want that exaggerated look. The creep effect. A little bit there. I guess one more each. So this one I can just shrink to a little nub. Like that. And then I can just manually sculpt these ones. Have to reorient some of them as well. Pay attention to that. That wasn't pinky. Yes, that is perfect for size. And shape too, actually. Yeah. Okay. I guess what I could do potentially is lop these off and move some of these over to make the thumb. I'd actually do that. Yep. Okay, let's see here. So that's one, and these ones. That. Delete hidden. Well, that's supposed to be. A little closer. I've got rough sizing. It's about the size of the pinky one, so longer. too. Okay, and then one more piece. And this one's a shrinking one. There we go. Let's go auto groups. Color groups, and then we're going to say auto group. And each one of these should now technically be its own. There we go. Okay. Which means we can mask them by doing this, going into Gizmo and just control clicking. Just position these a little better. And then I'll go through and resculpt them all. Squeeze that one down. I should probably do that with most of these ones. Come on. There. I should have waited on specifically this one. That's okay. That a little bit so I can get a better scale on it. There we go. Okay. Fingers. Sweet. I didn't want to actually do that. I'm going to shut Dynamesh off because I want to keep those all separate. Unless that's trained to A or trained to 1. There we go. Okay. Sweet. I think I can put the handbag together with the wrist. Let's do this. This and merge them. Yeah. Dynamesh that. And it'll be fine. Alright. Granny is coming along. I think I'm gonna rename some of this stuff. Dibble or dabble? I don't know why my caps lock is on. I have to just check spelling on it. Spelled that right. You can't double click in this. It's the one thing they're still missing. All these new updates and they still can't double click for renaming. What do we got here? What is that? arm. Just call it body for now. So probably be separating most of that off again. Just to show. The other one from the arm. And we want to kick this over to the side, modify topology, mirror weld. No, so with these, mirror weld. There. There is grandma. So, I'm sitting really funny. I'm keeping my back out of shape here. Okay. What do I do now? Still need to make Granny's shawl, her glasses. I was thinking about slippers too. I do have to do her feet, but that's a... I need the skeleton in front of me when I do that, because this is insane in terms of complexity. Got a lot of little bones and a bunch of just craziness. That is really hard visually from 2D images. So I'll deal with that when I get to college. Granny's looking pretty good so far. Really happy with this. Her tibia is a little curved. I don't want it to be that curved. Just need to look at my reference that or not my reference, but my concept art. I did draw it really curved. Mostly because, if I remember correctly, I was going off of what what digigrade feet look like. So, basically animal feet. Not their front paws, because those are technically hand. I can't remember if I got that right or not, so I'm gonna have to just double check something really quick. Reference. Let's just say dog back leg bones. Yeah, they do curve like that. Okay.